Here, Dad, here's some more dirty laundry. Here's some more, Dad. Have that done before lunchtime. Yeah, you heard the girl.
Oh my gosh, how am I gonna get all this done? I live off grid. I barely have any solar power. Aloha everybody, Sean with Homestead in Hawaii. So what do we do when we are off grid and need to do laundry? Well, we could easily just head over to the laundromat and get our clothes taken care of that way, but if you live outside of town in the country, that's not quite an easy chore. So you may have to just do it at home. And if you don't have the bandwidth on your solar system, then you're gonna have to figure out how to do it by hand. Today we're gonna kind of go over a little sampling of what each of these things can do and how you can use them to do your own laundry while you're off grid at home without enough power. So let's dive into each one of these systems. So the first one we have is a simple bucket and plunger system. It's a bucket and a plunger, that's it. And it uses a sort of pressure motion, like you're plunging a toilet, to be able to move dirt through the fabric and to be able to clean the clothes that way as you move make a suction motion up and down. Our next method is the washboard and basin. I'm pretty sure everyone's seen one of these, maybe as a musical instrument, or maybe just as a way to do laundry back in the old days. Well, when you're off grid, it's good to learn what your forefathers did, and this is one of the tools they used on the homestead to do laundry. And we'll learn about doing laundry with one of these. And then now we are moving up to a little bit more of a higher end modern age solution to doing laundry. This one is called the Lavario. And when I found this, it made doing off-grid laundry so much easier. I highly recommend this way of off-grid washing if you can afford it. It's only 120 bucks on Amazon. There's actually a link below in the show notes here. But it'll save you so much time and effort compared to these other two methods. So let's go over how all these work so you can judge for yourself which one you'd like to choose. All right, everybody, we're gonna start with the bucket and plunger system. This was one of the first ways that I started to wash clothes on my homestead. And I really like this method for doing laundry. It worked pretty well. I'll tell you, it was a lot easier than trying to wash them by hand before I got this thing, when I was just scrubbing them together like this. So let's show you how it's done. Fill the bucket up depending on the size of your load, and then add your detergent. My wife makes our own detergent here. It's a mixture of Dr. Bronner's and some other stuff. I'll have to have her show you how one day. But just mix it up for, I would say, a small size load, and add soap accordingly, and then we'll go from there. Our bucket filled to where we want it to go, and now we're just going to add in the clothes. Got some of my daughter's clothes in here today. Alright, that's pretty good, nice small amount. And it's pretty intuitive from here, guys. Now you can stand up and do this job, or sit down where I am. It doesn't take that much work. Just like plunging a toilet. Some people say you can do this job with a normal toilet plunger, but trust me, it does not work very well. That toilet plunger just ends up folding back on itself. One of these dedicated plungers that are meant for washing clothes is really ideal. They're only 30 bucks. And once again, you could buy one of these on Amazon if you want to, and I'll have the link down below. But you can really see how easy it is to just plunge these clothes, and the water gets worked through the fabric as you push down and you suction back up, and it gets all the dirt out of there. And so you can do this for about 5 minutes, and then let it just soak for another 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, you can come back and do it again. Okay, so once you do that for a few times, you just drain out the water. Try and squeeze out as much of this dirty water as you can. It'll make rinsing that much easier. And now we're gonna do it all over again. This time we have the clothes inside, and this is gonna be our rinse cycle. You see, you could do it by hand. That's one of the old-fashioned methods, and it can really work on the upper body strength while you're doing this. A great homestead exercise. But I see the plunger that does a better job. You can see the water's still soapy, so you're gonna have to drain and rinse a couple times. Fill it up again. Just gonna rinse out the plunger a little so I don't introduce more soap. Pretty clear. I'm gonna pour that out. And then in order to kind of wring dry these, we can use the plunger. I just like to push down on them, get some more water out that way, pour it out, do it again. It's a lot easier than using your hands to wring it out. I was doing that for a long time, and I started to get some wrist issues after doing that long enough. I'd rather just do it this way. That is the bucket and plunger method. From here, you would just hang these up to dry. We live in a hot, sunny climate here in Hawaii, and today's a beautiful day. And just hanging them up in the sun, they'll dry in no time. Let's go on to the washboard method and check that one out. Before we move on to the next way to do laundry off-grid, if you haven't had the chance already, please hit the like button down below and subscribe to this channel. We are constantly adding new content to help you get a glimpse into off-grid life and how to live it. We just happen to be in Hawaii. So please subscribe down below, leave a comment, and hit that like button. All right. The washboard method. I like to use this one in a combination with my plunger. When I have clothes that are just really dirty, like big stains on them, I will rub them on the washboard first and then run them through the plunger, because doing this for everything is a lot of work, and you'll see why. You start with filling up some water in the basin. I like to get the water right up to the base of the washboard, like you can see down there. All right, next you're gonna take your clothes that you wanna wash. Let's just say I'm gonna wash these pair of shorts. Whew, look, I went hiking in these the other day and they are filthy. So first thing I do is soak these for a little while in a little bit of laundry soap. Soaking these for about 5 or 10 minutes just to kind of soften and loosen that dirt. And then we'll come back and we will start to agitate it on the washboard. All right, welcome back everybody. We are going to now show you how we're going to use this washboard to clean these shorts off. And as you can see, why this method is so time consuming is because you're pretty much doing each article of clothing one at a time. And when I first started using this method was when my daughter was using reusable diapers, and it was no fun, man. I had to wash those things every day, one at a time. What I like to do to get started is wet down the washboard a little and get a little soap on it. Some people have bar soap. That is great. You just rub it on like this It's probably better than this liquid soap that we have, but it still works. And now we're gonna take the big dirty spot and we're just gonna rub it on. Give it a little rinse. Rub again. Give it a little rinse. Rub it again. Let's see how we're looking. Oh, that's starting to come off, but it's still there. So we got to work a little harder. Now, can you use bleach in here? Oh, definitely. If you're into bleach, to get your whites looking a little cleaner. But you could also just use old-fashioned elbow grease. At this point, we'll drain the water. Fill up the basin again. Okay, at this point, you don't really need the washboard anymore. Just fill up the basin with as much water as you need and just agitate it a little, trying to tease out any extra soap. A couple rinses may be necessary. All right, so now you just wring it out and it will be ready to be hung. All right, I don't know about you, but that washboard method did not look easy, did it? It was very time consuming. It gets the job done on those hard to do stains, but when it comes to doing a mass amount of clothes, forget about it. Look somewhere else. And that somewhere else is this next one that I'm about to show you. This thing here is called the Lavario. It works similar to the Plunger, but it allows you to do a lot more clothes at one time. So let's go through what it takes to make this piece work. So you have an inner section here. This is where all the clothes are gonna go. And this is our basin. And this is a little drain plug. Now before we get started, just make sure that drain plug is on there tight. And we're gonna fill up the basin halfway with water. At the same time, we're also going to add our laundry soap to the mix. And while we wait, we could begin to fill up the part where the clothes go into. So this part just easily screws right off. We're going to put a towel in here today. And my board shorts and some other items here. Oops, part of the compass? No, don't need that. You can put a few more clothes in there if you like. Today, I just don't have that many. But don't pack it down. Don't really push all the clothes down in there real hard. Just kind of lightly pile them in. You can pile them all the way up to the top if you like. And then when you have your tub filled, then you can go ahead and begin to wash. Okay, we have our canister filled and we are ready to begin washing our clothes. So in order to do that, we can just put them in and let them soak for 5 minutes before we begin. So after it's done soaking, you can begin to do the job. Just up and down motion for 5 minutes. This job can be a little trying on the back, so I like to kind of do a little squat motion when I'm doing this one. Good little workout, this one. So you do this for about 5 minutes and then you can let it soak and then do it again for another 5 minutes. At this point, you can drain the water out and then we'll rinse it by doing the same process. You can drain the water out with the plug below, but for me, I'm a little too impatient for that, so I'll just take the clothes out and pour the water off. Now I'm going to give the bucket a rinse. I'm going to give my clothes a rinse. Get rid of a lot of soap just by doing this. We got this tub filled back up with rinse water now, nice and clean water, and we're gonna add our clothes back into it and give it a little rinse, just by doing the same things before. Now we're trying to agitate the soap out. We've actually did a pretty good job when we hosed it off. We got a lot of the soap off already. So go ahead and pour the water out however you need to. Now we have some rinsed laundry. It's time to give it a little bit of a drying. So what we're gonna do, we are gonna take it out of this little basin here. We're gonna put the clothes inside of the tub. And we're gonna open the spigot down here to use this part as a way to just push it dry. Now these are ready to hang dry. You can see that system was pretty easy, a lot easier than the washboard, wasn't it? If you're interested, be sure to check out that link below. You just checked out 3 methods that I use to do my laundry off-grid by hand. But you know, there came the day when I said enough is enough. And you know what I did? I added on some panels on my solar system and upgraded my batteries, and I did this. I got myself one of these, an actual washing machine. This I got at Home Depot. It was the most basic model with as little fancy bells and whistles as possible. You can see it's a hot point model. It has no electronic displays, no residual electricity drawing down on this washing machine. And it is low in power enough for me to run when the sun is at full peak, and I can do laundry using this machine. If I need to, I could also augment it with my generator so that I could do laundry at any time, even on a rainy day. I don't want to spend my time doing laundry. I got other things to do. I don't need to take an hour doing it by hand. There you have it, guys. 3 ways to do laundry without any power. This is off-grid laundry at its finest. Forget going down to the laundromat, or if you don't have enough power to get you that washing machine, this is how you're gonna do it. One of these 3 methods, most likely. And like I said, this one always won out for me. It was a lot easier, but this is a close second. And it's a heck of a lot cheaper just to get you there and washing clothes at a really easy rate. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you learn a little bit about what doing laundry off-grid is like. Maybe you get a little newfound respect for those who are out there living this sort of lifestyle, because it's not all easy fun and games. Some of it's hard, tedious work. All right, till next time, aloha.